How many times do we remember things wrong? We go back to our grade school and everything is smaller than we remember. We go back to a town we visited or one we grew up in and we haven't lived there for a long time, and everything just seems different. You know, your memories compete with what you see in front of you in the modern day, and obviously things can change. I mean, maybe the school got a repaint and it looks different, or maybe the town you grew up in has had a lot of new businesses show up, and so the flow and the traffic lights and some of the areas just don't look the same. How many times have you ran into somebody that you haven't seen in 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even just 2 or 3, and you start talking about something that happened between you guys or with you guys or something you shared, and all of a sudden the details aren't quite lining up, and maybe you realize you got a few details wrong, or maybe you sit there trying to explain to them that they got a few details wrong. The thing is, a lot of who we are in the present moment, in this day, is based on those memories. Maybe we felt ugly as a child, and then we carried that into our adult life. Maybe we don't feel so desirable. Or you hear a lot with people that have lost a bunch of weight. They still carry that overweight child inside of them, even though they are now trim and healthy and they can see it in the mirrors, and they can see how their body works, but they still feel like it's just who they are. And so they still think of themselves that way. And sometimes it snaps the other direction. All of a sudden, you were overweight as a child and now you're healthy and young. Hey. And so sometimes, all of a sudden, you're healthy and feel fit and notice attention, and you get so caught up in it, you start to do stupid things. You ruin a good relationship you're in because you can't handle the attraction and the options you now have with the opposite sex, or your, you know, whatever you crave in a mate, or you crave the release or the validation of multiple partners. And so the thing is, when you look back at who we were yesterday, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago, a lot of times that's who we are in our present moment. That's who we are in our today. And it's one of those things that completely shapes how we step into today, how we act today, what we go through today. How many times have you really thought back and go, that wasn't really how it was? Or that was my viewpoint from that of a child, or somebody who was different. I have changed. I've grown up. I am now something different. I am now something that someone. I'm a different person. I'm a different spirit. It's a different time. A lot of those fears and anxieties, depression, parts of our personality that aren't serving us are still tagged in our profile of ourself and how we see ourselves. The filter we see ourselves through based on who we were. Take a good look. See what your feelings about yourself are. The easiest way to do this is see what you have anxiety about, or you fear about, or worry about, or the things you wish were still the same. You know, maybe you still wish you were a great athlete, or maybe you still wish you were the beauty pageant winner, or maybe you wish you were still free and young and didn't have a bitter outlook on life. Those, looking at the things that you don't like about your life now and your personality and how it reacts, will tell you what about your past you're still hanging on to that's not serving you, that's not good for you. It's not fun, it's not easy. Write it down if you want, burn it when you're done so nobody else sees it if that's what you want. But take a look, find out why your life isn't as wonderful as you think it should be. What part of the past you is holding you back from the best life?